Alex Rodriguez's date in court gets pushed back as civil suit drags on. Alex Rodriguez was scheduled to appear in courtroom 10-1 of the Miami-Dade Children's Courthouse last Monday, for the start of jury selection in the civil trial that pits him against plaintiff Constantine Skirtis, Rodriguez's former brother-in-law. But the years-long legal saga, which dates back to December 2014 when Skirtis filed the original complaint in Florida State Court, will drag out a little longer, as the two sides prepare to argue a civil RICO, racketeering, claim before the presiding judge, Michael Hansman. Racketeering and civil theft charges were added to the latest amended complaint earlier this year, one of the many twists in the internecine dispute that centers around a real estate company Skirtis and Rodriguez started in 2003, 5 years before Rod's divorce from his wife, Cynthia, the older sister of Skirtis. The lawsuit has survived Rodriguez's numerous motions to dismiss over the years, and there has been a revolving door of judges overseeing the proceedings until Hansman took over in late 2020. This year alone has already seen Skirtis hire an entire new legal team, including several former federal prosecutors, while Rodriguez brought aboard Benjamin Brodsky and Elena Fatiu-Wojtowicz to join longtime counsel John Lukic. Sr. Hansman has been no-nonsense ever since he assumed the case, and one of his first orders was to establish August 2 as a firm trial start date, although that has since changed. Hansman has also steered away from any of Rodriguez's checkered past, including the former Yankee slugger's performance-enhancing drug ties or his past marital infidelities. Earlier this summer, Hansman quashed the plaintiff's subpoena directed at Major League Baseball, which could have allowed Skirtis' legal team to delve into Rodriguez's past. More recently, the judge denied Skirtis' motion to seek punitive damages, a legal blow that was a 180-degree turn from the spring of 2020, when then presiding judge, Maria de Jesus Santovenia signed an order saying the opposite. Judge Hansman not only denied Skirtis seeking punitive damages, but took the opportunity in his written order to blast the civil matter as a distasteful dispute. At the crux of the legal war is Skirtis' allegation that he was forced out of the company in 2008, when Rodriguez was divorcing Cynthia. Skirtis accuses Rodriguez of breach of fiduciary duty and unjust enrichment, among other counts in the complaint, and Skirtis alleges that properties were sold without his authority and without Skirtis being compensated. There are also allegations of mortgage and insurance fraud committed by Rodriguez and the other defendants. Both Rodriguez and Skirtis have been deposed, something Rodriguez had managed to avoid in his previous legal entanglements, including when he sued the Yankees team doctor during the biogenesis doping scandal in 2013. When the defense counsel in that case was set to depose Rodriguez, the former Yankee dropped the lawsuit. Although Rodriguez's deposition in this case remains confidential, portions of his 3-day interview with Skirtis attorneys surfaced in a recent public Zoom hearing, and one of Skirtis' counsel, Constantine Economides, went as far as to suggest that Rodriguez perjured himself during one portion of the deposition, when Rodriguez gave conflicting testimony. Economides also said that during Rodriguez's deposition testimony, Rodriguez characterized Skirtis as inept at running this real estate venture, and that Rodriguez was sometimes getting angry at Skirtis' counsel during the deposition and calling counsel cute. There has been no indication that any settlement is in the works, and Hansman voiced his frustration with the mediation efforts in a Zoom hearing earlier this summer. It's a little bit disconcerting to me that these two former relatives who were in business together for so long have been unable to resolve their business differences themselves, said Hansman. Hansman also took issue with Skirtis filing for 13 derivative claims early in 2021, and the judge granted a motion for summary judgment on that issue in an August 19 hearing, disposing of the claims with prejudice. Skirtis can appeal that decision. Hansman expressed his doubts about the racketeering claim during that same hearing, suggesting that Skirtis' counsel should have a come to Jesus with their client. I really appreciate creative lawyering. You're testing my limits, I gotta tell you, Hansman told Skirtis attorneys, referring to the civil RICO claim. At some point, that may very well backfire on you. This is one of the most abused statutes in civil litigation. I've already said I have a lot of problems with this claim. If the case goes to trial on Skirtis' direct claims only, Rodriguez still stands to lose a chunk of his fortune if he's found guilty by a jury. Skirtis must now decide if that is the route he will take. Hansman has said that all parties including Rodriguez must attend every day of the proceedings once the trial begins. If you look at my final judgment on derivative, and you say, look, the odds are it's not getting reversed anyway, plus, If it does, our client gets 5% of the recovery, so to get him $1 million, we've got to get $20 million in this case, and you'd rather go to trial on direct claims. Then we're set for trial, Hansman told Scurtis counsel. As soon as I can get a jury in here, and we get this mask mandate over with, I'm calling you in. That's the landscape.